Welcome to House Common Blood, where strangers are family. Every episode may contain graphic content, such as copious amounts of blood, unnecessary cursing, death of all ages, infantile to immortal, fantasy drug use, nice, nudity, and perhaps mentions of sex, and sound effects of various qualities. Cannot stress enough that this is mature content with adult themes. You have been warned. Light 'em if you got 'em.
Hello, everybody. I play Mavet Soha Fidash, a druid spore wielding barbarian.
Hello, I am Mega, and I play Eddie, the Outer Boy Triton Bastard class. And I also play Eddie, his most faithful and longest companion.
I'm also here joined by Aluya.
Hello, Nita here. I play Aluya Oblak, and she is a human cleric sorcerer.
And finally, Moo.
Hi, my name is Moomin. I play a fire genasi alchemist named Seer, who likes to always be on fire, or they're born like that. Whatever you want to pick.
Yes, so we're starting up our new campaign. New season after everything that's happened with Chayim. Our heroes are prisoners of a ship, and they have been sent out with invisible collars that will kill them if they're disobedient to their taskmasters. They were asked to go to a city named Chayim that was being controlled by a emotional vampire and his slime mimic. They were told that they need to clear up the supply route to fuel the war in Adantis, where humans and elves are going head to head for the elven territory to the east. Our heroes went through a lot of ups and downs, facing such creatures such as an Ibiku, which is a monster that keeps being reborn, as well as multiple slime creatures in the city. Through and through, they took out the fat sacks in each part of the town until they brought this mimic to its knees, to which one of our players befriended and named him Happy. Ending off our season, we captured the main culprit, Thimreth, Exultria. As prisoner, he was brought back to the houses to face judgment for his crimes, and our heroes are traveling to the east, to Findal. But along the way, one of our players, Aluya, got entrapped by Favor, as well as Seer, to make a stop at a cottage along the way. Now, I kind of want to start off with a campfire scene between everyone. So, we see this campfire. You guys have been traveling for about a week now. All of you guys staring at this fire. Cupcake, as the camera pans from the flickering fire, what does it see?
While watching the flickering fire, small embers, barely keeping warmth, are inside of Mavet's mind. He's been thrown into this new world, realm, universe. He can't quite say. But the more time he spends here and the more he looks into the fire, it seems that the coals in his mind are beginning to warm. He sees many flashes of fire. It doesn't seem to be reflecting from the campfire itself, but they're screaming as well. He can't quite piece the pictures together, but he also feels a strong affinity to learn more about the nature of this planet. Like it seems to be, is it talking to him? Is it coaxing him in? It seems familiar yet so alien at the same time. He ponders this.
Does he say anything during the campfire?
While he's lost in thought, now trying to piece together these shattered, burning memories of his, he's looking at his other, well, would he call these team? A team? Friends? Many? He doesn't know because he has not seen these types of people before, but when he arrived in Chayim, to which he doesn't even recall how, at first they weren't too friendly, but then they let out a hand to have them join him. So he feels safe, but he's still on edge of, will these ones also add to the memories of the embers in his mind?
All right. Mega, as we see the contemplating face of a fucking tree. What do we see right next to the tree?
Well, maybe not so much next to the tree, because all things considered, might actually be using that tree as as a lean support. but but you will see an otter boy. It's brown fur, black eyes. It's you think he's somewhere around 5'9", but it's a bit difficult to actually get a accurate reading on his height because he's always slouching. Uh, he is often seen wearing just some loose slacks, as well as some a button up that is virtually always open. It's revealing some of the piercings that he keeps on his body, apart from the ones that you can already see on his ears and lip. And yeah, I imagine him just kind of using Mavet as a leaning post, as he is gripping in one hand this what can best be described as a golden vape pen.
Mm-hmm.
As he is just relaxing the evening with a smoke, and that smoke even kind of billows around him a bit, and sometimes taking shape. And if you look closely enough, maybe even a pair of eyes can be seen within the eddy, also known as Eddie.
During this time, just chilling out, vibing by the campfire, does Eddie have a fun story that he shares with the party?
Dudes, it's way back at home, there's a bunch of wood elves, right? And you're not gonna believe it, but like sometimes they would like burn stuff and make a ton of smoke, but not because to like cook or anything like that, or even just to like, like burn something they were trying to get rid of. Like, nah. They'd like try to use that smoke to communicate with higher beings. Isn't that just wild?
I expect a response from Avet after each story.
Sorry, my audio cut out for the last 30 seconds.
Oh my god, of course, convenient excuse. Dickhead. Alright. Going from Mega and telling this story, we look towards Aluya Oblak. Nita, what do we see?
You'll see a woman in her early 20s. She's got long salmon-colored hair and that goes white at the tips. She carries around her shield with the symbol of her god, Aeolus, which is an albatross in a lightning storm. He would be taking this time just kind of taking everything in and enjoying the company of the people she's around. She doesn't have many friends, and this is something new for her.
Yeah. As she's looking into this fire and you hear Eddie going on about his story, do you have one yourself?
Yeah. Thank you for the story, Eddie. Well, what I miss, aside from the ocean, where I come from, there is a forest called the Azure Forest. It is beautiful. And I like spending my time there, hiding, finding critters, and enjoying time. The trees there are azure blue, and they are massive. Like, several hundreds of feet tall. Mavet would be happy there.
Mavet? Swear to God, if you tell me your audio cut out for 30 seconds, I'm gonna bitch slap you. Eagleheimer.
It sounds like those trees would make like a great place for the giant apes.
After Aluya, we see the camera pan again, and I want to imagine this pivot being centered around the fire, so we always see the flickering flame. Moo, what do we see?
As you said, a flickering flame, only instead of being attached to a campfire, it is attached to I would say, to give like easy description, a coal skin woman. They are not too tall, but taller than most people. And one thing that most people would not realize about them is just the fact that they are not dressed like normal people with like, garbs, tunics, and other things. Like, it seems as if they have a jumpsuit of some sort that seems to be built specifically for them. And after many times they have told the party, it was mainly due to the fact that their body is intensely hot, so things would eventually char or burn, especially because of the hair. But other things to indicate too that you would see behind is that their skin crackles and breaks as if it has little bits of glowing fires within them. Kind of like if you imagine burning brimstone, or maybe little lava ring lines.
Like Lava Girl from Lava Girl and Shark Boy.
Okay, maybe in reverse, but yes. But yeah, the main indicator that you would see though is that they are in one of the rarest times sitting down relaxing with with their weird broached little hat on the side, their alchemist jug on their left opened up, smelling of booze, and they're just kind of like staring at the fire, listening to everybody's stories with their intensely glowing hair that always kinds of waves and flickers.
Yeah. What kind of story does Seer share?
Interesting enough, Seer would actually explain something similar to what they heard from Eddie and Aluya. Although they might have made a comment going like, speaking of giants, where I'm from used to be a settlement for what you'd named frost giants that have, well, been slain by a calamity, as you would call it, but by my watchers would be more accurate. And it is a strange place. There are lots of large structures hereabout, but we all live there as a happy community of my people. Although, Eddie, when you mentioned such a thing as a campfire speaking with their higher beings above, strangely, I am not afraid to say this, but we also, my kind, will use the fires to communicate from one another from long distances. Very convenient. We call it Kindle.
That's sick, bruh. There's just so many different ways for smoke to keep us all connected, you know?
Indeed.
Yeah. I kind of want to imagine as you guys are sharing this moment by the fire. I want to imagine nearby, not too far away, is a fellow that looks like Steve Buscemi in a nice blue cloak, I would say. And he just watches you all as you talk. And this would be the taskmaster of the group, Jean Laban. Throughout the days of travel, you guys have not really talked so much to him. In fact, it was just like it was in Sham. Like sometimes you would look the other way and he'd just up and disappear. Now, I kind of want to imagine, like, as your guys' stories come to an end, we see, like, a focus onto the fire as it begins to smolder and die until it's cinder and ash. And we move on to the next day. And I kind of want to go over the week's travel up till now. We left off on you guys leaving the gate and going east towards Findal, or I should say northeast. As you guys travel along the road, what does each one of your guys' characters do to keep yourselves entertained along the way? What are some downtime activities you guys engage in along the way?
Secretly trying to break out of these collars for our good friends. Except for Mavet, because Mavet's a tree.
Yeah, you mind telling me a little bit about these collars?
Yes! They are horrific collars. They are invisible to most people, but with the right kind of magic, you could say that it covers the neck, both wrists and ankles. And they have many enchantments and many, many, many deadly things about them, such as, well, speaking the command word would kill people normally. Something else too is that it always reshapes with your body depending on who created them, since they need to have seen the creature to have attached it to them. And worst off, besides changing shape with your body, the thing that makes them very, very annoying is the fact that it is not one enchantment, but maybe 6 enchantments in one that we have to kind of puzzle around.
All right. So just like before, I'll allow you guys to focus on one thing. What do you guys focus on with these shackles during these travel? Yeah.
Well, we have proven that Atticus was able to escape. Atticus was a party member that was our long-range druid who shot a lot of people with their nice, beautiful gun. It looked like a dinosaur hunter. But basically, we already figured out that if you look like something else, you can escape. So, in the free time, whenever we have privacy, I imagine Sierra would approach Eddie and Aluya trying to solve who to prioritize, since Seer actually has a solution.
Oh, you do. Do tell, do tell. Secrets are no fun.
So, ultimately, Seer was able to brew I would say, a horrific potion, because it's made from the corpses of people. But it is corpse brew, and they found one that allows one to shrink.
Okay.
So, with the ability to possibly shrink, we would just need to be able to disable the shackle with the transmutation on it so that it can't reshape with the body, and the person who drinks the potion can just slip right out of them.
Okay.
But the problem is I only have one potion. So, it is a very important question to have. Who do we use it for?
Yeah.
Well, I think it would be either you or Eddie. You two seem to have the most capabilities, so I will stick with that.
Well, I could definitely tell you this is that if I do get out, I could possibly make more, but it's not something I take pleasure in doing. However, let's figure out after the cause. Eddie, do you have a theory on how to escape your own? Because we should prioritize those that can't leave theirs higher. I might be the highest on the list, but if you can't, I would give it to you instead.
I mean, like, I might have a way. It's just like, we're not really in the right setting for it.
What do you mean?
So, well, like, you know how, like, sometimes, sometimes I'm here and sometimes Eddie's over there, and then we're suddenly where the other one was?
Yes.
It's like, I think maybe, like, I could possibly, like, use that, but, like, the conditions need to be right, you know? But I think that's, like, a possibility. And then Duke kind of looks over to Aluya. But, like, especially if you can't think of anything that you can, like, do, like, maybe you should be the one to have it.
Well, I can dispel something, but I don't know what to dispel.
In this case, Olivia, you would have to dispel the shackle we'd identified that morphs with the body. Because once you do, the potion would make you small, smaller than the shackles. I will say my end then, if we have to decide on things. So, Eddie, you don't have to worry about the potions too much, do you? So
Even if there wasn't a potion, like, I'm pretty much a go with the flow kind of guy.
I only ask is because if you have a way to escape, I'm gonna let you do that. In my end, though, I sadly do not. However, I also do not have the capabilities of removing effects on things, which is what you have, Aluya.
That's why I'm more comfortable if you were the one to be released, because, you make the potions and you're smart. You know what to do.
It also means that if I could help break you out of the shackles sooner, it might be more possible since I might be able to break it from another way. But for now, I think that's a smart plan.
All right.
We just go ahead.
What do you guys plan to do then?
So specifically, Aluya can cast a spell twice.
Okay.
And Eddie, we need to take down the transmutation as well. So that's the first shackle. But what's the other shackle we need to take down? Or is it the only one?
No, there's the necromancy, the conjuration, the divination, the transmutation, and the illusion.
Well, illusion doesn't do anything. I'm assuming the conjuration is the thing that kind of like keeps it around us.
Mm-hmm.
Necromancy, I'm not too worried about because if you slip out, you're okay. It's the transmutation and conjuration that we have to worry about.
So the right foot and the right hand.
Right. So, and if we are able to dispel those, I could pop out. Although we don't know what will happen because it very well could be really bad repercussions if I take off the collar completely and ignoring the necromancy one.
Could
But
be.
I think I'm tanky enough, hopefully. Chugs potion out of fear.
All right. So that's a plan. Dispel right hand. Dispel right foot.
Dispel right foot and right hand.
Yep. All right. So paint the scene for me.
So,
All right. Go ahead.
oh no, you first because you got the plan.
Well,
Oh,
I was
please,
just
just
say.
me first.
Okay, great. Go for it.
No, fucking just say it. What the hell
So
you plan to do?
basically, with the help of Aluya, basically Seer will put their right hand out first, and then their right foot beside it, and then
Alright.
just kind of look to them, waiting to see if, with the potion on their other hand, ready to drink.
Okay.
So they're just waiting on Aluya's signal.
Okay. Aluya, flavor up the spell.
She will, before she starts, she'll give a Seer a really hard look, like, let this work, please. And then she'll focus and she'll train on the right hand, right foot, trying to dispel the magic within. And what you'll see is kind of the air around Seer kind of flutter, and this salmon color, like, mist forms around each shackle to try and dispel it.
Okay.
Also, to clarify, I would like to cast Detect Magic before this so that I could see if the shackles have been, I would say, nulled for a short period of time.
Yeah. So you see as she casts Dispel Magic, we see the shackle around the right wrist and the right ankle. What colors would they appear in your mind? Like, is it by school for you, or is it just like a glow?
It is by school.
Okay. So tell me the colors that would be for conjuration and what was it? Conjuration and what was the other one?
Transmutation.
Thank you. Conjuration, transmutation. What colors would that be for you?
Let's see. So, for transmutation, it specifically would be orange. And for conjuration, yellow.
Okay. I like that. All right. So we see the lights dim until they become dull and no longer having any light to them. And you see around your collar, like that also, even though it wasn't directed at it, you see it also begins to dim, but blink. It seems like you have a window to work with. Do me a favor. I want you to make me a... trying to think. How well do you set this up? Because you said you're going to cast Detect Magic before this starts?
Yeah.
Okay, before it starts, Dispel Magic. You're about to drink the potion. Yeah. No, I'll give it to you. No need to make a check for that. I was going to see if you could drink the potion in time. Because I feel like your setup's pretty good. Narrate how you get out of the shackles.
So, Seers taking the moment, right when they see the time is right, will begin to drink this strange, clear potion with a red dot in the middle of it. And they just kind of chug it down as fast as they can. And then once they do, Eddie and Aluya and Mavet will see Seer drink. It is slow at first, but then it starts rapidly making them get to even smaller size. Till they are the size of a Barbie doll, or in a sense, maybe a pixie or whatever small creatures that exist in your world, Gray. But Seer is no longer a 5'7", feet woman. They are maybe a 6-inch woman now. Tiny.
Okay. So let's get one thing straight. There's Funko Pops in the world, all right?
Yeah.
So we'll start off with that. Yeah, there's Funko Pops, and that's about the size that you're about. And yes, we see the shackles click off as they no longer detect your life, and they are now open. Congratulations. Another one of you have gotten out of the shackles.
Here's the repercussion that I need to know. Is it a normal potion of diminution or potion of shrinking? Or is it kind of like as extreme as the last potion I had where it has longer term effects?
Oh, just like that potion, it's a little bit more long term. Can you roll me a 1d4, please?
Let me do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You rolled a 4. Yeah. This might last for 4 days.
I mean, that's no problem for me, but that's 100% more effect. No, that's 1,000 times more effective than the actual original potion. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Part of me just really wants Aluya to just go over, pick Seer up, and then put her in her chest pocket. And I'm not talking about her shirt.
Goddamn.
So looked over to Eddie. So does she become bigger yet? What do we do with her?
I don't know. You got a pocket?
Yeah, sure, but what if she becomes bigger in my pocket?
I don't think I'll be bigger in your pocket super easily, but
Is she talking? I can't hear her.
all of that. They just respond. It's like, all right, they can't hear me.
Mavet will walk over to the new tiny lady and pick her up. As he picks her up, I'll guess by the hair, might burn a little bit, but not too bad because it's like a small little lighter. And as he begins to grunt and moan,
Oh
A
God.
a little platform begins to shoot out of his right shoulder, kind of like a little swinging branch. And he sets Seer on top of it.
Yeah, and just to keep in mind, so we're all aware, Seer, you are now small size for about 4 days. You have disadvantage on strength and saving throws checks. And your attacks will also deal 1d4 less damage.
That's okay because
With
I don't use
weapons.
weapons.
Yeah, I was
I
going to
don't
say.
use weapons.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm a very efficient and terrifying Bic lighter.
Let me jot down a note, make sure Seer makes last strength saves. Alright, there we go.
But Cyril will sit on this thing after they like put some gloves on so they don't like burn things with their hands.
Yeah, so what's the party's reaction to this? Heard Mabet. What about Mega and Aluya?
I think she's elated that, the plan worked out, especially that it was Seer for it to work out for, even though she's like super tiny.
So,
Mega.
like, we're gonna keep those around, right? As he kind of like gestures at the mess of collars on the ground.
I mean, I could put them in the bag Seer gave me.
But like, It's hey, littler bruh.
Looks to Eddie and the platform that Mavet left for Seer. Seer waves.
Hey, like, do these still work after you've taken them off?
Sierra shouts at the top of the voice because they are tiny, going like, I most certainly imagine they do. Because it's not that we just, got rid of the magic. It is more that we disabled it for a short time. So, if you can open them up or put it on to someone else new, probably would work.
Ow. You do not need to yell in ear.
Oh, I'll talk quieter. Would you translate for me?
And I say to Eddie what she said.
So, you know what? Maybe, like, I should go for a direct connection. And, like, Eddie starts using message with Seer.
Alright.
So, can you see which one is, like, the divination one?
Seer will look to what they have. And divination is actually a very interesting color. It is gray.
Hey.
It is very wispy gray.
Hey.
They'll know where you are. They'll tell you. Where are we,
Huh?
Gray?
I don't know. Where the hell are you?
As you can tell, this divination spell is not that potent.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I blanked out there. What the hell were you doing?
They want us to look at the where the divination magic is radiating from.
Okay. Thank you. Nation.
I'm mostly just making sure, since you still have detect magic on, and Eddie has not cast detect magic, so it just looks like a bunch of like a bunch of collars on the ground.
Yeah, I would say it does look like a bunch of colors on the ground. Let's see.
Like, basically,
Still through message.
Like, basically, we want to make sure that the divination one is kept out but then all the others can go in the bag.
Smart.
Let's do that. Then our escort. What might be wise to do is make it seem like I just left everybody, and I'll hide in Mavet. Although that means I'll have to prepare a spell to make it so that I don't accidentally light Mavet on fire.
What?
That won't be too hard.
What kind of crazy ass fucking plan is this?
I mean, if I go into Aluya's boob pocket, they'll burn too.
You also get shocked in there.
I know!
You're weird, Genasi. You don't really have to hide.
Well, the thing is, it's not a matter of hiding. It's the matter of fact of, like, I am fire.
Yeah. There you go.
I burn things.
I mean, you're only like the size of a Funko Pop, right?
Yes. Even though technically small size, I still like the comparison of a Funko Pop.
But basically, here's what I'll do to help out Mavet in certain times of the period when I have to hide from the Steve Buscemi guy. Besides, I basically use altered self, so I actually would not turn myself into disguise, but actually turn myself into a human.
Okay.
In a sense, turning off my fire thing.
All right.
Also, you should shrink my token to be appropriate.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, what if we just say that, like, we accidentally spilled some water on you and you got smaller?
I mean, if you do that, then they're going to figure out why the collars are off and then try to put new ones on. Hence why I rather hide. Because if I hide, then we could just chalk it up to me running away.
Well, like, I hope you have fun in... I want to say Mavette's hair.
Surprisingly, this is very comfortable.
I want to think like Mavet has like a family of squirrels living inside. they bring Seer in, give her some nuts.
Seer roasts the nuts, makes the squirrels like them more.
All right. Very tiny seer.
Hi, I'm small. Hello,
Alright.
I'm Seer.
All right. So what's the cover then? So like you're trying to hide Seer from your taskmaster. Am I correct with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And where exactly are you hiding? Inside of Mavet's bush?
Yep, wearing the hat of disguise to make myself camouflaged.
Okay. Make me stealth with advantage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Could I help with that roll?
No.
Before you say anything, I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
I will also Flash of Genius that skill check.
Okay.
that's such a sad skill.
Yeah.
No.
You can guidance. So
I
I had a
want
1D.
to you
Yeah.
on the head.
So I got to know how you fucking this up, Seer. Like what are you
Well,
fucking up with this? Be like on the first failure, then we'll talk about whether you succeed or fail on the second one.
Well, here's how I'm fucking it up.
Yeah.
Mavet, how much foliage do you have?
Not much. Mainly, it's just like a lot of branches that are thorny are kind of surrounding you.
That's what makes it sad, is that Seer turns into like a little green bush pattern. Not realizing it's like, wait, I should be a sticky pattern. Which is why it's like suddenly Mavet like has this little green puff in one little spot. And it looks pretty obvious. So then Seer immediately changes with their flash of genius, Aluya being like,
Ah,
and like telling Seer, no, not that, not that, not that. And now I have a 17.
Okay. Yeah. Like, as you begin to hide, we see, like, throughout the night, like, if anyone's staring at Gene, his eyes begin to dart around a little bit. Not worried, just searching. All right. Anything else you guys do before we begin the travel?
I would, in the meantime, anytime we have a break, would try to way to help break Aluya's thing out. Whether it be by magical means or by mechanical means. I think the mechanical means, now that I'm free, I could spend as much time as I need to do it.
All right. So let's start off with the next day. Keep in mind, it's been about a week. Did I already ask what everyone did during that week? Or did I stop at... Yeah, I believe I started with Seer and we kind of went on the side tangent. Yeah. Aluya, during this week of travel with your tiny Seer, what do you do to keep yourself entertained during these large swaths of silence?
Cry.
Yeah, I was gonna say cut out. Get a little closer to your mic.
Not much. I mean, the main focus is trying to get out of these shackles and also try and hide Seer and just continue forward without having my head blow off. And take into account the events that happen in Chayim and what I could possibly do to move forward with my issue with what Rory said.
Yeah, and keep in mind, like, Rory, Elzar, and Sigurd are traveling with your group, but, you know, you guys maintain a comfortable distance with Rory going back and forth between the groups. Do you have any chats with Rory along the way?
No, I think the last chat we had kind of was all that she really needed. I think she still feels bad for this man and just doesn't want to cause him any more grief.
Yeah, there's a long period of silence in your travel, but you catch him occasionally, like, looking in your direction, then quickly averting his eyes.
I'll just give him like the sup.
The sup nod.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yes, you do see that Sigurd is missing a couple fingers. Just to quickly go over the group, Aluya, who would you cast as a celebrity actor to play Rory? What does he look like? How would you best describe him? I know it's my guy, but you've seen his picture. You're better with actors.
Am I?
On the spot. Come on.
Thank you. What's his... is it Chris Pine?
Yeah, Chris
But
Pine.
like, with just Irish, right? He's Irish? Something like that.
This is Chris Pine Irish. You know, that's a good thing to Google.
There are too many Chris's.
Because of the hair, he's got like.
Look, all I know is he was born in LA. That's it.
I don't know.
Yeah, Chris
People-
Pine, like with maybe a little bit more straggly hair. Like it's just always seems to be wet or greasy. But we also have Sigurd, who is Goliath with a long braid that goes down to his mid back, and Elzar, a hobgoblin in armor that's fashioned much like an elk with the helmet's antlers. Yes. You guys travel along Mega. How does Eddie keep himself entertained during this travel?
I mean, the funny thing is, like, like because this actually is a forest area. I think this would just be a situation where he actually like would keep his eye out for like any medicinal herbs and any air quote medicinal herbs. Because he actually can make. Because he actually can make stuff like healing potions and what have you. It's like, but he also mostly uses that skill for recreational purposes. But
Yeah, make me a nature survival check. See what you find.
Doop doop boo. I think that did it correctly.
Huzzah!
Okay, I think that's a 17.
17? All right. Let me see what you find. All right. Now, you said you're looking for medicinal herbs? Eddie?
Oh, I didn't realize my mute button was on.
Yeah.
It's like a medicinal with or without air quotes.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know what's normally in this forest.
Okay.
He's never lived here.
Okay. I'm going to say with that, you do find something, yeah, peculiar. Roll me, let's see, a 1d4. Okay.
I guess I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's why.
Okay, you did good. You did good. All right. Sure. There we go. Everyone's over here.
Ooh, pretty.
Yes. All right. So what you end up finding during your travels is a brush. You know this as a Genko brush. You know that previous tribes would use this for their healing potions or concoctions. Mainly, what this does is it makes the effects of a healing potion more potent. How it does this is whenever, just speaking over the table terms, how this mechanically will work when used with the potion is when you roll for healing, you get to take the amount you rolled. So say you roll 5 on the first round and 5 on the second round. Essentially, you get the double the amount of healing, but over the course of 2 rounds. So it's a good find. You can make some decent potions with this. You also do know with a little bit of the history with this is that much like with, if you had to take a guess, this brush was used by Thimreth for, if you guys recall during the last session, of how he had one of his brothers, one of his own family, tied up to a chair, regrowing their teeth. This was one of the components that you would hazard guess they used to make that happen. You even think if refined enough, it could have a regenerative property to it. But base level, you know that it can essentially double your healing.
So about how much of that is present?
Okay. Because I had you roll 3 on there, I'm gonna say that when refined, this could potentially make 3 potions. Yeah, and you got about 3, and I'll make sure to put it here.
Well, bros, I didn't find drugs, but I did find drugs.
All right, I have a shorthand note in chat. Double healing split between 2 rounds. All right. That's one of the things that you discover along your journey. What else does Eddie do during this travel? Like, how does he keep himself entertained?
So, well, I think, like, aside from that, because, like, I mean, like, obviously, like, there's the way that he spends his time when, like, when they're not walking around, but, as far as, like, when they are, like, actually, like, traveling from, like, through the day, I like to think that, that Eddie is kind of like a whistling to himself. But like but whistling like a small tune.
Hmm. All right. Is there any comparison for the whistle, or is it just nonsensical without rhythm?
I think more specifically, he would try to mimic the songs of any birds that he hears. To help keep it interesting.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Vibing to his tune, always gonna be like, "This is the song that never ends." And all my friends.
Mavet, you're the last person on my list. What do you do during this a week?
I'll be doing something similar to what Eddie was doing and checking out the nature that we are walking through. Specifically, I would be focused. I would be trying to, Mavet would be trying to study everything, but paying special attention to any fungus or decaying, but not dead, just decaying flora.
Okay. Decaying flora. What are you trying to get out of this?
I am trying to learn, see if I could actually help the decaying flora to revitalize, and in a sense, spread, I don't know how to say this, like without it being clipped, spread my seed.
So, just could you repeat it back to me one more time? I don't think I heard you.
I would want to help spread my seed.
So how do you go about spreading your seed, Mavet?
So as Mavet is, studying the flora around, noticing different trees he's never seen before, flowers, wild grasses, but paying attention to the ones that need nurturing, or the flora that seems to be on its deathbed. Is it because of an invasive species? Is it not getting its proper nutrients? He doesn't know because he hasn't seen this stuff before. So whenever he would see a decaying, whether it be fungus causing the decaying, or just, a dying plant, he would break off a piece of himself and shape some of the, using shape water, some of the nearby water to help nurture maybe it back to health, and have a part of him be with it there to help it grow.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's paint the scene, because this touches on a good topic. With Eddie, when he discovered the brush, there was a lot more that were decayed to the point of not being usable or just withered. As you guys travel, there is never really sunlight. It is just a constant twilight. You see that the sky is always black with a blinking eye in a place of the moon. And you see a flying leviathan whose moan just occasionally reverbs around the canyons, the trees, any open area. You can just always hear it in the background. Towards the decaying, you feel like it's towards this black sky, not being able to feed these plants enough. And even taking a closer look at the decaying vegetation, you do see, like, taking a closer look, some of the stalks are strange. You see a slithering, like, vine of thorns. And you see it just piercing at the stem of these flowers, these any kind of flora, as it's essentially eating away at it. It seems like there is a invasive species that's trying to survive in this harsh environment.
Well, with that, you said the thorns are piercing these were once healthy flora.
Yes.
So I, wanting to learn more and, hopefully to understand it on a more tree-like level, I would break off one of these thorny branches, and what I am going to do is cut off one of my fingers, or essentially just snap off. And how they do with some, when you're trying to cross-breed plants, you kind of like just stick it in there and have it grow from the original thing. I'm going to plant that into where my missing finger was.
Okay. God, you're a strange fucker. Break it down for me one more time.
So, we'll give some background. In orange farming, what they would do if they want to try to get like new orange types of oranges, they would cut off a branch and essentially place like a seed of a different orange to create like a new type of orange. So in essence, that what I am doing. So Mavet will take one of his fingers. He will take the ring finger on his left hand, snap it off just above. Well, he doesn't have knuckles, but there's still just a little bit of that finger there. And with that, he stabs the thorn, the long thorn, into where his finger once was.
Okay. Make me a survival check, because that's or nature. Nature. That sounds a lot better. Okay, 17. With a total of 19. All right. So as you place it near the thorns, like that was a high roll. Like, what kind of changes do you think happens to this vine?
I think it starts to take place in replacing my finger. It would definitely be of a different, it would be noticeably different than my current ashen bark. But I'm hoping to know more about why this plant is causing this. Maybe some, like, where did it originate? If it's an invasive species, I'm trying to connect more on like like a spiritual level in a sense with it. See if I can get information from it by having it by and placing it inside of me to where you become more like one.
With this one, just because of your situation, I'm gonna need like an assistant role from another player to give you more information about this invasive species. Seer, you said you're riding on his shoulder, right?
Correct.
Okay. Make me a history with advantage because of that nature skill check.
Give me one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see. We're gonna do history. Normal or advantage?
Advantage.
Well, let me try again. Sorry, my bad.
No, it's
I misclicked. Let me try this.
trying to sabotage me.
I am.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, there we go. So that's 24.
Yep. All right. With a 19, ended up with the 24. This is giving you a deja vu. You swear something like this has happened before. Like you've read this in a fairy tale. Then it occurs to you that the disease that you guys encountered in the town has a similar background. This invasive species that Mavet is playing around with, it appears to be a extinct species. Although you don't know the name of it quite yet, it has a similar background where you know damn well, like, both of these things, this disease, this species, both of them were dead, but now they're back with you once more. With these ones in particular, you know this one's fairly dangerous. This caused a fair amount of famines. And you know that the wildlife... have you ever heard of cordyceps? Moo?
One more time, you cut out.
Have you ever heard of cordyceps?
Someone's been watching The Last of Us.
So,
I have.
yeah, it functions like cordyceps, where as a species begins to attach itself to flora or fruits, trees, when the local wildlife eats at it, it takes on the quality of hardened bark skin and a zombie-like state. It is a very, very dangerous species.
I imagine Seer would be very much in the mentality of burning it all to the ground. But Seer is not a violent one. And they don't want Mavet to be upset.
This is very dangerous, but I don't want to upset you.
I would tell them, though, this, and that the best course of action for it is to destroy it.
Mavet, what do you say back to that?
Last 10 seconds and his wife just walked in.
Repeat yourselves here.
I told Mavet that this stuff is incredibly dangerous and that it should be destroyed. Dangerous enough that, I don't know, it would make 2 games about it.
Thank you.
All life is precious. Just because it has been bad once does not mean it cannot be redeemed.
Sadly, it's not the matter of redeeming back and forth. It's more the matter of fact that it can endanger many other lives. So that brings a question to you. If all lives are precious, does that mean you allow other lives to be taken by a life that takes all?
That is a question to ponder. Is one worth that of many? Or is the many worth that of one? Either way, I have made my choice. And what Mavet will do, since he already has that, he's going to keep it implanted in his finger. And he's going to take the part that he broke off and replace the part that he ripped off from the plant.
Oh, back
So
on
I'm
yourself?
I am giving me a piece of myself, that broken off finger, and putting it into the plant. And then the part I took from the plant is still inside my finger.
Damn. So just to clarify, just make sure I'm not mistaken, you are attaching this to yourself.
It has already been attached.
Okay. Make me a Should I even make you make a save? Do you choose to fail this? Do you let it assimilate with you?
So, I mean, I'm going to be, if it is in fact trying to like take control of me, because my goal, let's say, okay, if it's bad and trying to hurt me, I'm trying to battle it into a stalemate so we can coexist.
Okay. Yeah, make me a Constitution saving throw. Make this DC 18.
Mm-hmm.
9. Yeah,
You're genius.
How much does that add?
5.
That's not enough.
Oh, fair.
Wolf to that roll.
Yeah. So we see what finger was it again?
Ring finger.
Yeah, keep that one in mind. Write that down. So the ring finger begins to develop vines with thorns that wrap around to adhere itself to your missing finger. And we begin to see it like yeah, essentially penetrate through your thick bark, going like underneath your wood-like skin, and it makes its way up to your forearm. And now I'm gonna say that you are going to suffer from a indefinite madness. You are schizophrenic. So make sure you write that down, keep it there, and now you just hear just voices. It's a chorus, but it's not quite clear yet. But you do get one thing from it. You just keep hearing Zombruin, Zombruin, Zombruin. It just keeps repeating that in your head.
Can you spell that, please?
I'm gonna put it in chat. Zombruin. Zombruin.
Thank you.
Yes. At what point in the journey would you say you've done this?
Probably around the same time that Mega was looking at plants. So I would have been from the get-go, studying the flora. So whatever
Mega.
time you would decide,
What?
I would happen across that.
Yeah, Mega. Give me an idea. About a week's time. Like, what point in the week would you have done this?
The closest equivalent to hump day.
Yeah, so halfway through. So I'll say it's day 3 on the travel.
Oh, cool. Then so many days left before I come back to normal.
Yep. Yeah, we'll say all of these important events happen around day 3. Day 3, you guys kind of got a little freaky. Yes, Mavet, do me a favor. Make me 4 Constitution saving throws, all DC 18. Flash of Genius.
Yes.
Okay. You just hear the voice begin to quiet. Mavet, next day.
Can I? No, I wouldn't know. If I knew,
Yeah.
I would do something else. I can't
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, we see like you guys can visibly notice that like there are vines traveling from like his upper shoulder and down his back. Yeah.
Flash of
All right.
Genius.
Yeah, we got 2 failures and 2 successes. Mavet, do me a favor, write that down. And we'll come back to this, but the voice does get louder with this. You're not quite at a stalemate. You guys are still actively fighting. And Mavet, I want you to take 1 point of exhaustion.
Note to self: Seer will need to make another cure.
Yeah. Yeah, but you, like, now keeping an eye out during your travels, you do see these vines, much similar to what Mavet is dealing with, just here and there, as you see this, extinct species that has apparently come back as it begins to creep around the local flora and trees. You even see like a boar deep within the woods, like half of its body is made of bark, and you see that its left its left hind leg is covered in thick wood, making it unable to move that limb. You see it just limping around. Its eyes, Yeah, its eyes empty, flies and maggots spilling from it. Yeah, it seems whatever this is, it is not that good.
If I recognized that, I probably would warn the group about it. Possibly have us take precautions and, well, secretly have Eddie message me about Mavet having accepting this upon themselves. Maybe having a watch for them.
So we're going to have a secret conversation to see when we have to put him down.
I don't want to put him down, but that is the possibility. They made their choice, which means that we'll have to make ours if it turns south. It is a very dangerous thing, and I think we're going deeper into an area where it's full of this. So it means that, well, we could verify that Mavet is not a carrier from the beginning, but a victim of something else.
Could you burn it off of him?
I would burn them alive.
Oh,
If it was early on, yes, but Mavet was pretty adamant. I don't go against someone's wishes. I have a code, so if they choose to take this path, I don't say no to it. Plus, well, looking to Eddie, there also might be a chance that watching Mavet might give us another chance to make another cure for something else.
As he is a guinea pig now.
Correct. So,
Well, this wouldn't be the first time I've experimented with plants.
all I would ask you to do, in this case, Eddie, is keep an eye on them. I will study them, see if there's a way to manipulate it, since it is of a deadly nature, and burning everything down would just make us have to burn everything down. So if I had a way to limit its growth, then I think that might be the better option. Like maybe a pesticide.
question. So, like, from the events of last time, if we touch Mavet, will that be an issue for us? Or, like, is it like the bushes and the grass, the animals?
It's all the above. One reason why I'm not too worried for myself is because since I'm naturally hot, I burn things from just things
Oh.
coming close to me.
Okay, note to self. Keep Mavet away.
So what I was going to recommend is, if it is what I think it is, cover your mouth and nose.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you have, it'll make it so that it doesn't go through, because think of like fungus. They fly through spores. So, definitely make sure that you have it on 100% of the time.
Well, cool beans, out of character, I did change her outfit so she can cover her mouth.
Oh, really? That's very convenient.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You can look at my Pinterest board. I went through several outfits.
Oh, yeah.
You must send me this Pinterest board now.
I can't. It's sad.
Yeah, like Eddie just has like a pensive look on his face for a moment, then grins.
Well then, I guess that just means I'll have to smoke more.
Yeah.
We will have to watch and see. I can watch closely since I'm not under the threat too much. But even that, I'm not sure. I don't know how well adaptive it is, so I'm going to still wear something. I can't wear cloth since it burns, so I gotta improvise.
Although I gotta say though, maybe you shouldn't have told me, cause like, well, Eddie doesn't like it when there are things that might hurt me, and they hear everything I do.
And as he's saying that, there's just like again, there's like the looming like eyes amongst the smoke around Eddie, just like staring at Mavet.
I will be with them 100% of the time. even when I grow big. Curious question. How's Steve Buscemi reacting to this whole zombie shenanigan thing as they see like all these fungal plants being terrifying?
You see him talking to himself, but he seems nonplussed. You just see his hand trailing near the vines, examining it, and even going so far as to cut off a vine and put it inside of a vial.
In other words, he is as excited as Seer, but he is not very capable of handling it.
No. He's a taskmaster, not a doctor, damn it.
Well, he's gonna die.
There you go.
Yeah, with that said, I'm gonna study Mavet, maybe work on these cordyceps thingies. I could put them also in a vial, and then just kind of like experiment. I could try to cast Lesser Restoration on Mavet, but I don't assume it's a disease. I assume it is a creature that is trying to connect with Mavet. That's kind of why I didn't cast Lesser Restoration, because I thought you were going to play from that route. I could try casting Lesser Restoration for free.
If you want to.
Let's do it!
Okay.
Watch Mavet try to eat me because it angers the creature. Alright, let's do it. Here I go.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the description again. Yep. Yeah, no.
I just want Mavet to start shouting, grains, grains.
Grains.
Yeah, one thing you are sure of. Yeah.
Soil.
Moo, flavor this up for me, and I'll tell you what happens.
Alright, so Seer will do something unusual. So with the Lesser Restoration, with all their spells, instead of just being like invoking upon it, it's like vials, syringes, and other things that they use. In this case, Seer will actually prick themselves to put a little bit of their golden blood into a vial, mix it in with some other chemicals from their alchemical jug, and then with a syringe, they poke Mavet in their shoulder as they ride.
Yes, and just like you theorized in your head, you know for certain now that whatever Mavet came in contact to, it is something entirely different. You think of this as a living organism, and Lesser Restoration will not cure Mavet of this organism.
There we go. Then, while working on getting the collar off of Aluya, I will have to now also experiment on Mavet.
Okay, what kind of experiments do you run?
Possibly seeing how the cordyceps react with heat, temperature, as well as how they react to other chemicals such as alcohol,
Zombruin.
acids.
Thank you
Correct.
very much.
Zombruin.
Yeah, Zombruin, thank you.
Now, would I know that she's experimenting on me?
I would assume it's consensual unless you say otherwise.
Well, I mean, is she trying to hide it because she's worried?
Oh, obviously not.
Okay, good.
I don't
Yes.
lie to patients.
All right. So, I mean, I would attempt to help out. Not really like an ability score increase, but it kind of makes sense by what the spell is or feature is. I want to use a use of my symbiotic entity, which allows me to channel magic into my spores, which I figure since they're both, part of me, might give a little bit of bolstering to helping, again, fight it into a stalemate. But that's up to you, Gray. I still use it anyway.
Okay.
Just hands off the chess piece.
Yeah, Moo, what exactly are you doing? Tell me, like, mechanically, what are you doing?
I am trying to find, if it's a creature, its vulnerability,
Okay.
So that if I had to like make a pesticide later on, I could just kind of repel a lot of things. Or if we had to fight a zombie creature, we could definitely kill it right away
Okay.
without it spreading specifically.
Yeah, you can make a roll with advantage with although I will say, the symbiotic entity doesn't actually interact with this check. It's very fitting, it's thematic. I'll give you advantage with it.
All right, what would you like me to roll?
It sounds like a history actually. Like straight out history. Because you're actually experimenting with it, correct?
It should be investigation if I'm investigating it. So yeah,
Yeah,
experimenting.
Investigation. Oh my
Natural
god, a
20.
natural 20. Okay, so let me tell you about its resistances and vulnerabilities, so on and so forth. So, you know that it is weak to fire, as you would have thought with it being plant-like and transforming its hosts into a wood-like creature. It is also vulnerable to radiant damage while being immune to necrotic. And resistance-wise, it is resistant to acid.
Good to know. So in other words, Seer is its perfect enemy.
Yes.
I had a genocide more genocides. What am I also going to have the genocide?
Yeah.
Oh, don't be mean to me. Anyway, but basically, would relay that to the group.
Okay. What kind of discussion do you guys have over this? Because you see that this thing is an organism, is trying to claim Mabet as a host. You see the effect it has on the floral and the wildlife. What kind of interaction do you guys have during your travels?
I'd probably tell Mavet straight. Pretty much that they are not dealing with a little entity, they are dealing with a large entity that would be incredibly hard to fight back. And that my healing skills could help, but the chances of me helping them are slowly dwindling the longer they have this Zombruin in them. And I would also relate to the group about what we know so far about these creatures. Specifically, possibly the best course of action, as I would even point out to Mavet about the boar that was walking dead around. That was covered in these spores. As it also took a life away. And is taking more away.
Yeah, and Mavet, you feel exhausted.
I have a question, Sir. What if we try to freeze the arm? Would that help? And maybe break it away from him?
I mean, that's not a bad option, but problem I would say is that I don't know if Mavet can just grow arms back. Are you able to grow your arm back, Mavet?
I mean, assuming I'm a tree, I have no abilities for it, but I would guess it would just take a while. That's up to Gray, though.
Is there anything within your race that allows you to do that? If not, no.
No, but we could easily make some prosthetics, which would be fun.
Well, keep in mind, Eddie did discover like a medicine that has the potential for regeneration. And I say potential.
So I wish to clarify to the party that, if it comes to what you all would consider losing one life for another, then you can do with me as you wish. But I wish to subdue it to learn more from it, because not everything is inherently evil. We don't know its purpose, you only know the purpose from which you view. So if you can aid me in assisting in subduing it, I would rather not kill what has already started becoming part of me.
If that is your choice, but I will say this. We are currently having to head back to where we need to go. If it helps buy us time, I can spend more time being able to get everybody out. But we would need to convince that man, pointing to on their tiny shoulder, to let us detour, since I also need to deliver this basket of cookies.
Yeah. And I want to imagine as you're pointing it along, he's holding up a vial with that vine with thorns, the Zombruin. And like we see it wiggle like a symbiote within the vial. And he just has a cold stare at it.
So, if you
I
can
mean,
convince
like-
them,
I mean, there is like one possibility.
do tell.
I mean, like, you know the woman that we're supposed to meet to like give those cookies, right?
Right.
Well, what if she knows something about this? Maybe even a way to help deal with it?
It's going to be like the Ibiku situation again, isn't it? Where we try to figure out where the problem was, and it turns out it's also another hag that did it. All right,
Alright.
I think that's logical.
And maybe while we're there, she might know how to break a deal.
I'm sorry to
What
tell you this,
deal?
Oluya, but I don't think that will work. But also, maybe we shall try. Also, Betty, it was a deal that Oluya made to try to discover more secrets, but it backfired.
When did that happen?
Didn't don't worry.
Mhm.
It happened. Oh yeah. Moving on. Oh, Malvet has disease.
Oh yes, Malvet has disease. Regardless, though, I think that might be our best course of action. So, Eddie, we might need to talk with our taskmaster.
He hasn't really been like much the talkative type, but I guess I'll give it a shot.
All right. How do you approach him?
So is he just like still staring at it?
Yeah. You see that he's just examining it, and you see like magic flicker through his fingers as if he's doing small experiments on it.
So, hey dude, what
Oh!
you doing?
Oh, Etty. Hello there. Yes. Sorry. What's the holdup? You've been talking for a bit.
Just like staring at the vial in his hand. It's like,
You seem like really into that thing.
Oh, yes, it's a bit of a marvel. Yes, I haven't seen this in... Yes. It's been a long time. Are you familiar with this, Eddie?
Kinda, sorta. At least
Yes.
what I was told like a few minutes ago, but
The fairy tale. No?
not one I can really think of.
Yes. Well, they say back in the days of the Gishayans, those nasty little changelings, that their civilization sprawled near and far, and Yes, a lot of people link this thing as he jingles around the little vial with the thorns. Yes, there's a story that a great prince and king once traveled to kingdom near and far, and as they traveled, they brought forth a flower, and as they planted it in a faraway kingdom, this is what sprouted. It's a flower that changes shape, and this is its thorns. Yes, I'm a little hazy on the other details. I really do need to look up that fairy tale sometime. Maybe we can stop by a library. As he keeps looking at the vial. No, task at hand. This can wait for later. As he puts it inside of his cloak. Yes. Why are you talking to me again? Yes.
Well, funny enough, it's kind of related.
As he just kind of like hikes a thumb over above it.
Yes, the strange tree fellow. What about him?
So, like, he kind of, sort of let one of those things make a home in him.
Why in the blazes would he do that?
I guess that's just like the way that he tries to connect.
Why?
Not like with people.
Oh my gods! Why? That's such a strange creature. Why? Did he know?
I'm not really sure if he knew as much as he does now, but I guess he still
Foolish.
did it anyway, though.
Absolutely foolish. My word. And he's just shaking his head. And I'm sorry, I must have missed it. Did you already make the request for an extension or a side, or are you just explaining the situation?
I haven't quite gotten to it yet.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss that. Carry on.
So, well, like, though, there might be somebody, like, kind of sort of nearby that maybe we can ask about it for.
Who the devil would that be?
Oh, just some nice old lady.
An old lady? A hag?
Well, that's kind of rude.
Oh. So, just a grandmother. Just an old lady?
Yeah, it's like, like, originally, like, we kind of sort of promised someone back up in town to, like, bring something over to her, like, on our way. But now that this has happened, like, well, it's possible she might, like, know something about this.
Mm.
And you seemed really interested in it, so
Clicks his
maybe you
tongue.
could, like, tickle that part of your brain that wants to know more about it.
Maybe a persuasion check with advantage. DC 18. Aluya, no guidance. Seer, what's the distance for Flash of Genius?
30 feet.
That's enough. Oh, that is an interesting thought. And I do suppose...
I don't
your
use
guidance in yourself.
because I can give my own.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that because she's our go-to guidance girl. All right. Yeah. That's a big middle finger to me. Thank you. All right. So 22. That is more than enough. So as you're... give me like a little bit more of a persuasive argument. You already have a solid foundation, but what really sells it?
It's like, look, like, you can only learn, like, so many things in a library, but just walking around with it for a little bit, actually seeing what it does, isn't that just a little bit more hands-on?
Damn it all! Yes, you're right. Yes, one must take experimentation with his own hands rather than at a book. Yes. And he puts his, he pinches his brow and he just goes, well, thankfully, Atticus sent out a letter for an extension. I'll make sure to contact the captain and, yes, make sure she knows. I can't extend it more than I already have. We have a week before we get there, and that'll meet our deadline for going to the rendezvous with the ship. But I could perhaps ask for 3 days, at most another week. But don't hold your breath on that one. Yes, we can do this. And the biggest thing that really bothers you, Eddie, is you don't recall ever telling him that Atticus sent out a letter.
So he keeps that in the back of his mind, but just like kind of like gives a dopey smile, and especially if he has like just like a free handout, just like looks like he's about to go over and shake it, but then like tries to like do a hand, like a different kind of handshake.
It's like, thanks, bro. You're the best, dude.
And
Excellent.
I imagine he's just not taking well to any of the motions that he's going through.
All right. I kind of want to imagine a fade to black on that. And we're going to take a break and start up in a little bit. It seems like a good time. We'll take about a 15-minute break, start back up at 10:45. All right, and we're back. All right, so we faded to black with Gene giving you guys the okay that you guys have 3 more days. So, as you guys begin to travel, I'm going to say we're all the way up to a week. A week has passed since you guys have left Chayim, and now you guys are traveling at dawn. You guys are traveling the roads. Is dim lighting all around. And as you guys come to a corner, you guys see a bit of foliage, a dense bit part of the forest, and I would say a bit of a cliff side that goes 30 feet up, 60 feet up. I need to ask you guys, everyone, well, let's make a group skill check, because I don't want to go off of passives with this one. And just remember, with group skill checks, all you got to get is half or higher. And this one's going to be 17. Yeah, that sounds about right. 17.
What skill?
Yeah, you
Perception.
didn't say the skill.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I said perception. Mavet with 22. Luya with the 9. Seer with the 3. Can Eddie save this?
Just in case, I hate burning it early, but Flash of Genius, because I want to bring up
17
that average.
Yeah. Oh, well, keep in mind, it goes off of successes and failures for a group check.
Oh.
Yep, so just half the group needs to succeed, so only 2 people. And it's dependent on Mega now to save this. Yeah, there you go.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. It didn't automatically roll for disadvantage.
Okay, there you go. Ooh, there we go. So by the skin of your teeth, you fail. So I want everyone to make me a dexterity 15 saving throw.
Wait, I can guidance myself. You know, give me a chance.
You should have said so. Go right ahead, guidance yourself. Minimum would be a success. So
Yeah. You find the dice.
So I feel like it's proper that Eddie is the one to notice this with his blind sense. Eddie, as you're walking along, doing just having chill vibes, we see you slouched, and right before you are spikes that have like an ethereal nature to them. It seems like they're invisible to the naked eye, that are spread across the path, basically at the dirt road that's before you.
Part of me wants to believe that, like, just as it's about to approach it, like a smoky Eddie suddenly takes a significantly more corporeal form and just like puts a finger on Eddie's chest to keep him from moving forward.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So
hey, bros, we might want to stop for a second.
Okay.
Do you still need to make the dexterity save?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Let's bring you guys all to the map. All right. And yes, you are allowed to read that text. Don't worry about that. Okay, let's adjust things a little bit.
Loading, traveling the road.
Yeah.
Loading, traveling the road.
There you go.
Road, like traveling, loading.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Off. All right. So as you guys are traveling, take yourselves out of that little square that you see below your feet. Place yourself wherever you think is proper. Just gonna Move you guys all over here. So yes, you guys are traveling this road, and you guys see a bunch of, I should say, Eddie sees a bunch of spikes that's before you. Go through that RP once more.
So, hey, bros, I think we might want to stop for a second.
What do you have? Wait, before I go into a roleplay, am I still small?
Enough days have passed where you are back at your regular size.
Good. It's after the guy agreed that we go this way because he'll be
Yes.
like, "What the fuck?"
Mm-hmm.
I came back. I got cold.
Gives you a quirk of the eyebrow. You're made of fire. You can get colds? What? What is this? But yes, the spikes are before you. And you guys just have a moment of, unease wave over you. It seems like this was a trap. Not sure whether it's specifically for you guys, but it was a trap laid on this road. What do you do?
So it seems to be very specifically on the road.
It is specifically on the road, as if this was a trap that was laid for people walking by, or it could be specifically for you. You don't know.
What are the spikes made out of? Does it look like metal? Or do I have to break another finger?
Eddie is the only one who could see them. It seems like in this dim light that they're invisible to the naked eye, but they're wreathed in shadows. Everyone, don't go at once.
Can I use my tempestuous magic to kind of get a better vantage point from where we are? If Eddie
What?
is saying that there's something.
What first level spell do you cast to use it?
It's a thing that happens in my features and traits. Oh,
I believe you have to cast a first level spell for it.
yeah. Oh, well then I will guidance myself.
That's a cantrip, not a
first-
leveled spell.
Mm, I guess.
You could bless.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. All right. So you bless, and put yourself on this map a little bit, because that brings you up 10 feet in the air. And on this map, you do have a cliffside directly to your north. That is 30 feet up, and 30 feet up from there, 60 feet in total, is another cliffside.
Mm. Just to see if I can see anyone further down the road, or maybe trying to hide somewhere in the brush or trees. Can't really see above me.
Yes. All right. So you cast bless, and you go, well, first, who are you blessing? And make me a perception check with advantage.
Will bless myself, Mavet, and Eddie.
Okay.
And a perception check.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do I get to see anything?
Hang on. Because DM is also doing something.
Oh.
Yes. You lucky girl. Alright. So let me tell you what you see. If you scroll out just a little bit, direct the camera over here as well. So, as you do go up into the air, look around, you see a gnome underneath the trees over here.
Okay.
And he is watching you guys. There is a purple flame around his hand that has like a demonic, evil magic to it, as it looks like he's about to cast something. Since you did catch him, I will give you guys all an action to see what you guys do. Keep in mind, being underneath this tree does also give him a little bump to his AC.
I will shout out to the, well, not shout out, but I would just
Yeah.
say to the group, we are being watched. There is someone in that bush over there, and I'll point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Looks like he's up to no good.
All right. So you spend your action just pointing out where he is. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'll ping for the party. In fact, I'll probably actually bring it over here. There we go. He's exactly right there. Just hidden underneath the tree. And keep in mind, like, now that you've discovered him and his stealth isn't too high, I'll show you the actual check that he rolled. He rolled a 14 to try to hide away from you. He does have half cover. What does everyone do? Aluya, you alerted the party. What is everyone else doing?
Let's see. I'm just trying to take a look around to see what spells I might want to use, but I think the first one, if I had to pick one, is that I will cast See Invisibility.
Okay. Casting See Invisibility. Okay.
So that would be my first thing, so that if there's something hiding, I could spot it.
And that did take off a spell slot from you, right? Or is that a special
Correct.
ability you have? Okay.
That takes a spell slot.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure it actually did for your sheet. Okay. Let me actually look at See Invisibility here. Okay. For duration, you see invisible creatures, objects, if they're visible. All right. So again, what you see before you is the spikes on the ground that Eddie was seeing as well. Okay, Mavet, Eddie, what do you guys do?
I think at the very, this honestly feels like a situation where, I think like Smoky Eddie kind of like takes point and like flying over a bit ahead, and then actually like forcing a swap with Eddie, because I don't think it likes the fact that there's flames.
Okay. So we have Eddie all the way out there. Are you actually going to switch places, or are you just leaving Eddie at that position? Echo Knight Eddie. There we go. Okay, Eddie. Gotcha. Keep in mind, it gets a little funky when you click Eddie Port towards another token.
Yeah, I realized I just did that just now.
Yeah, sorry. I should have specified that when I was explaining it to you. Because mainly I have that just for the walls. There we go. God, that looks so cool. All right. But yes, we see Eddie going
Smoky
over there.
Eddie where that was originally.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, you see him up there. Anything else that you'd be doing that you can do within a turn? Like, is it just like the switch over, you opening up a negotiation, talking with them? What's Eddie doing?
Yeah, it's like after Eddie has suddenly found himself like over near like this rockier area, just like, all right, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like it goes a little bit more forward, and it's like it kind of like maybe even kind of like leans a little bit down on the rock a bit, just like,
Hey, little dude, I don't think you really want to do that.
Oh, what the blaze? Oh, how did you find me?
See, are you going in those?
No, I was misclicking.
Okay. Yeah, we hear that. Mavet, what are you doing?
Well, seeing Eddie switch places with Eddie, he said be careful of what's in front of us, so I would just climb up the side over here onto this
Okay.
ridge.
Onto that ridge is 30 feet up. Do you have a climb speed at all?
No, so I'm gonna get to it.
Okay.
15. So I get about halfway up it.
Yeah. Believe it's half speed when climbing. If you don't have a climb speed. All right. So yeah, you get close enough where the next turn you would be able to get on top. Where the hell is your token?
Underneath someone.
Oh, underneath Seer. Okay. There we go. Eddie, let's see if you can salvage this before we initiate combat. He just goes,
How did you find me?
Well, the fire there is kind of a big giveaway.
as he just kind of like gestures at. I'm assuming he's still holding like
Yep.
the flame in his hand.
as if you were holding some sort of spell. Yeah.
Like, you don't really want to hurt us, do you, little dude?
I
And because with this specific character that he wanted to do an ambush on you and didn't really, he really didn't expect to be found. Let's say, yeah, give me a persuasion check. See if it's enough.
Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. I'm assuming we're in a pseudo initiative.
Yeah. Okay. 14. E. Just go, you said you really don't want to do this. He looks around, sees all of you, and just goes,
blazes. God damn it!
and you see him cast the spell. And we're going to start off an initiative. So when it comes to initiative, let me put him on here. All you have to do is right-click your token, and you'll see a sword and 2 shields next to your token. Just press that. Nope. Okay. All right. Now, what you guys can do is on the top right with all the sidebar, all the icons on your top right of your screen, there's one with 2 swords that says combat encounters. Click on that, and you'll see a bunch of dice. Just click on the die and roll. Fuck me. So we have Mavet with the 6, the Gnome with the 7, fucking Aluya with the 17.
Trying to get this shield to work. It's angry at me.
Mm-hmm. Towards your AC. All right. Just click on roll initiative, then you can get back on to fiddling with that.
That's what I'm trying to do. Let's see. Oh. Why you gotta be mean to me, game? I want to play too.
It's just in the combat encounters tab on the top right.
That's what I'm trying to get. Oh, there we are.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I was trying to look for.
Okay. It seems like you guys have the advantage on him, and what started the encounter is casting the spell, so I'll resolve that. You see behind you, Eddie, as dark portals begin to open with the purplish flame licking around it, as you see 2 creatures begin to form and manifest from what seems to be the gates of hell itself. I'll reveal them, as they also roll on initiative. Okay. Hidden. All right. So to describe what this creature looks like, and keep in mind, you guys can always hover over a token to see the art as well in the bottom left corner. But you see this palish, lanky creature with a horn jutting out from the side of its head, large fangs with a gaunt face, and pale blue eyes with no iris, just pure blue. Blood is coating and dripping from its arms as they both just roar. All right. Make sure that this shit's following. And let's begin the encounter. All right. Very first one we're dealing with here is this little guy. Okay. And I think his first action is to go up near the otter boy. He walks towards the rock. And what he tries to do is... Yeah. Yes, it'll make 1 claw attack and something else. This is going to be directed towards Eddie. I'm going to target you, Eddie. Go with the first claw. So we see the first swipe with a really bad roll, a straight 11, as it carves into the rock. And with the second... Yep, there we go. With his second part of his multi-attack, he is going to do Weakening Gaze to look at you. In the chat menu, you can press that Eddie if you have your token selected, and it'll automatically throw the Constitution check for you. If you have your token selected, yeah.
Did it roll? I actually can't tell.
Did you click on the little tab?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting like everything seems to have a dialogue box.
Yeah. There we go. Wow. Yeah, with the nat 20, 26 total. I don't believe it does anything to you. Let's see. Yep. It's a save or suck target. Gods damn it. So that's the end of the first turn for this creature. Aluya, it is your turn.
2 questions, please. Am I still concentrating on bless?
If you so desire.
Did you stop?
No.
Yeah.
'Cause it was a minute. I casted it and the whole
Yeah.
thing with the gnome happened. That's why I'm
just
asking.
imagine it happened over the course of 6 seconds. So if it's a minute, then on round 9 it would end. But I don't think it would last that long.
Okay. Can I hold a spell of Thunderstep for Laban and Smoke Eddie and Mavet to get out of my way?
You'll lose concentration on bless.
Yeah.
Poopy dupes.
Oh god, with the 19. Yeah, we're gonna assume that Gene was startled by this entire thing. They forgot to add him to initiative, and he rolled the highest, because fucking course he did.
Then I am going to just... If I frostbolt him, he has full cover?
He has half cover.
So then I will just fire off a Ray of Frost at him.
Alright. Make sure to target him. He is right underneath the trees. I know that can be a little annoying. It's right here.
Okay.
Just press on that area with the little bullseye icon. There you go. Make the attack. Wow. Yeah, 24 fucking hits. God damn. Yep. That's some hefty damage right there. Yeah, with 8 cold damage, that's smarted just a little bit. And you just see like the ice begin to form around his chest, and him just like out of breath for a second, going. What else do you do during your turn?
I'm going to move as much as I can to try and get around.
Yep.
These spikes.
Yep, because those spikes are in the way.
Okay, I'm clicking.
Mm-hmm.
Boop.
Once you're done, you just need to press the space bar. Keep in mind, ally is difficult terrain.
Okay. I really get here in front of him.
Yep, 15 feet. There you go. All right, let's move on to the next turn. Is the next one's turn. Next demon. All right. So what he is going to do is looking around here. There's a lot of enemies that are far away. But since he's not listening to his baser instinct, as if he has orders being told to him what he should be doing, He is not going to take the obvious target here. Let's see. That's damn it. Okay, let's try that one more time. And he would have just enough to approach Aluya. Alright. As he comes up to you, Aluya, he is going to give you 2 little claws. So you see the first claw come down. And that is a 20 for a hit, unless you have any bullshit before I move on. Yay, nay? I'm going to take that as an A.
Yeah. Oh, no, I muted myself.
Yeah.
Shield, please.
Shield? Okay, then that's enough to overcome it. Gotcha. All right. And what's your adjusted AC, just for my reference?
23.
23, gotcha. Goes in for another slash. Both of them miss. Animate this for me. You see this hulking demon go in for a first slash. The first one should have been a grievous wound. What happens?
She's going to kind of X out with her, brings out her spear and her shield, and just like a wave of this, like pink casts over her. It's like a force field.
All right. And as this force field appears, we see like the claw rebound. And that would be the end of this creature's turn. All right. It is now Seer's turn. Seer, what's happening? You're right underneath Mavet's token.
I think I will do one simple thing. All right. Sorry, that took me a bit. I was just reading some things I could do. All right, so we have demons. So I will do flaming sphere on top of the demon here.
All right, flaming sphere. Gotcha.
Hopefully it's there. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. Look at it. Flaming sphere. You got to place down the measurement. It gives you an option. Yep, right there. And place it on the screen for me.
Remember, Seer, you can use your bonus action on this turn to ram it into something.
No, that's what I'm trying to do. Is like I was going to plan to put it in there. 1 second. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to put the sphere down. Let me try again. I'm going to cast a spell again.
Yep. Don't consume a spell slot.
There we go. And that's well, slam it in.
Okay.
DC 18.
DC 18, gotcha.
And that'll be the end.
All right.
So if it hits, it does 11 damage. If it ends its turn there, it takes 11 more damage.
All right. So we'll go with the saving throw first, see what happens. Oh, God. 3. Yeah, that damage goes through. And, yeah, as the fire touches the creature, you realize that it is resistant to fire. Yeah, so it begins to emulate the creature, and it just brushes off the damage. Deal with that in a second. All right. So let's go off to Eddie's turn. Eddie, what do you do?
I guess I do have to ask, like, does it seem like he is concentrating on this spell, or does it seem like this is just like the portals were a one and done thing?
Let me double check the sheet. Yep.
I only asked because like Aluya did hit him on her turn, so like
Yeah, no, that's good to ask. No, there is no concentration with this.
always good to ask.
Yep, it is. But what I can tell you, since you specifically asked something like that, it seems like this is a one or done deal. It seems as if you take these creatures out, he doesn't have another trump card. At least for engaging. Yeah. Great, Ed.
Well, then I feel like the smoke around Eddie just like instinctively like sees the more immediate in your face, figuratively and literally, threat, and fires two Eddie blasts at it.
Okay. Lock on to the creature.
Remind me where specifically on the token that was again?
So you have to go into the vertical bar to the left-hand side of your screen that says Token Controls. Then in the sub-menu, underneath the Select Tokens is Select Targets, which is a little bullseye icon. Yep. Then after you got that, you can just press on the token and it'll lock on.
Okay.
There you go. All right. Make me the Eddie Blast. Yep. Got to press the attack button on the.
Do this twice, aren't I?
I believe you can press the spell that you already had like twice, like make two attacks.
Oh no, I recognize that, but you know I'm also blessed, so I have to like keep typing in the 1d4 every time.
Yep. 1d4. Nice.
Wow.
Critical? Are you fucking serious?
That's terrifying.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll both, just so maybe to possibly like save a bit of time there.
Oh god. Fuck me. God damn it.
Gotta pay me
Both of them
more.
are hit. 31-27.
Now I do have to ask, like, will I wind up having to, like, if I press damage, it's probably not going to register the critical, and I have to like do the dice myself.
No, there's an option for a critical. I can't recall if you do normal roll, if it'll automatically do the critical or just
you can click the attack and or the damage, and it'll say a critical option to the left of it.
Yeah, it's just I'm not sure if it'll roll critical twice or if it automatically does it for a standard roll. So we'll test it out. We'll keep an eye out on the damage.
I mean, like I'm already like come to the conclusion that it's not going to auto crit. It's like but yeah. So here's the critical roll.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it. Force critical hit. 16, 23. God damn.
Like 4 of that was bludgeoning. If that matters.
Yeah, well, it's all magical. Let me see. Yeah, it's all magical. Okay, so that's 23 damage from that blow. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, you do quarter of its health from that. Yep.
And then here's the second one. If I can find my mouse, there it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We got 6 on there. Bam.
All right, then you can go ahead and blast them 20 feet away.
Yes, sir. It's blasted away. Animate this for me.
Yeah, it's just like again, like because like this is something like in combat where it like a lot of things are like happening at about the same time as like the creature just like going like tried to claw and then like I guess stare him down question mark. Just like the smoke around him almost instinctively reacts and it's like starts blasting this creature away like off of the rock and like over the way.
God damn. All right. Anything else on your turn?
Then I think as Eddie's bonus action, it's like Smoky Eddie is going to be. All right, I have to go to.
Yeah.
Smoky Eddie is going to like appear over here.
Damn. All right.
And basically just like staring at it, just like daring it to move.
Oh God.
And that will be the end of Eddie's turns.
Oh Jesus. All right. All right. That was a good move. Good move. Okay. Gets to the little gnome's turn, who is really just hiding out here. Let's see. And he doesn't have a lot of options. Okay. I think I figured out what he will do then. What's the distance here? Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna spend his action. Ugh. Disgusting. To go goad the creature. I'll tell you what happens here. It's down the information. No, as bonus action. All right. So starting off with his bonus action, he is going to soothe, I should say. That's the one I meant. He's going to soothe the creature that got an insane amount of fucking damage from good old Eddie. Healing it for 9 points of damage, which is not nearly as much as he fucking did. Holy hell.
There is a potential for 30.
Potential for 30, very low roll though. Yeah, that's the bonus action. I'm scared. I think what he will do then is, because that's not a spell. Yes, I think what he's going to do is a magic missile. There we go. And do magic missile, and he has identified Eddie as the biggest threat with the amount of fucking damage he just dealt out. Panicked and afraid, he's gonna cast magic missile onto Eddie.
Well, then suddenly a wall of smoke billows up around
Yep.
Eddie and blocks all of the missiles.
Animate this more. So we see like the flame in his hand, the purple flame, begin to transform into like 3 arrows, and they get shot towards you.
Yeah, and like the smoke that's always like sitting around Eddie just like starts to swirl around him like repeatedly until it like creates a spherical form around him and just like poof, and then like the missile just like disintegrates. Another one, and then poof, another one.
What the devil are you?
And that ends his
I'm
turn.
Eddie.
Mavet, it's your turn. So let's get a few things straight. How much movement do you spend to get to the wall?
I spent all my movement.
To get to the spot where Sear's at.
Oh, we're serious. That was 15.
15. All right. So that I'll give you 10. So if you want to, yeah, we can round it up. If you want to, you can spend your whole movement to get to the top. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes.
Okay. Bring you over the wall. And you have a clear vision of what's happening.
Cool.
Yep,
And I got nothing else, so I'll... Oh, wait. I'll use my action. See if I can do. Dash over to the cultist.
Okay. You can do that.
Okie dokie.
That's exactly on his token. Yep, right there will do. You gotta press the space bar when you're done. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. We see you going underneath the tree, taking a peek. Like, animate this up for me, because this seems like it's straight out of a horror film.
So as I climb up the rest of the cliff side, I dart over to the little man because I saw sparks coming out of the tree headed towards my otter boyfriend, and I wanted to see what is up. So I'm
What is
exhausted
up?
when I get up to him, and he's wondering, oh, you must be out of actions.
Now, we'll say for your purpose, he no longer has half cover with you being that close.
Okie dokie.
Okay. And that ends your turn.
Yes.
Is Jean's turn. And he's flabbergasted, like, oh, what the devil? Okay. And he backs away to get a clear shot of that creature right in front of Aluya. As you see him make 2 grave bolts right at the creature. And that the first one is a hit. Right. Check. Yep. Go. So make that saving throw for the grave bolt, and he definitely fucking failed. All right. So with the grave bolt, the target has to succeed on a strength save of DC 16 or higher, or become restrained for around 1 minute. Restrained target can use its actions to repeat the saving throw. So right now, this creature is under the effects of restrained. Let's see the damn thing. There we go. Use restrained, and here comes the next little attack here. All right, is a hit with a 16 on the roll, And that's 19 damage. Alright, let me do the damage for the other hit as well. Alright. That's 21 damage. That's a lot of damage. Oh, actually, let me double check the resistance. Oh, fuck. Alright, hang on. Alright. So, as these bolts come gliding across the air, we see that they have a glitchy static quality to them as they hit the beast. And the first one essentially creates a hole in its lower abdomen, and the next one hits it right in the eye. And now this creature has one eye that's looking around to see who the hell just did that. Alright, that is the end of his turn. This creature's pissed off. And you know what? I don't think they know how your Echo-Knight functions, so he's going to attempt to get out of reach. So you can take that attack of opportunity.
No, I can't.
No, you can't? Okay. Oh, it's because of what you did before. Gotcha.
Yeah, I already used my reaction, so.
Okay. Let me measure that distance. Alright. This guy's going to come right back to you, as you are the primary target for this creature. He's going to try to fuck your shit up with 2 slashes. Okay. That's misses. 18. Okay. 18 is a miss. Fuck me. Come on. Give me something,
and
God.
10 also misses.
No. No. Both those are misses. So he goes in and really carves up the stone. He really should probably take up the profession of being a goddamn sculptor rather than a fighter. And that's the end.
I really like your vision, bruh.
Aluya, it's your turn.
I'm just going to kind of hold up my shield ahead of me and kind of make it seem like I'm going to hit him in the face with it. But then my spear's going to disappear from my hand and it's going to come out just where his knee is and from the side pierce through.
Oh my god. All right.
If it can.
Yeah, if it can. Target the creature, then make an attack.
Restrained is not advantage.
Let me double check on the restrained condition just to refresh all of our memories here. But
Restrained offers advantage.
Yeah. Roll with advantage.
How do I roll with advantage? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, as soon as you make the attack, it allows for it. And you got a cool little animation. It's even a fucking hit.
What? Oh, I hit? I was going to roll my d4.
Okay. So, for that attack, no. Not with the 15. Yeah. The creature has... Yeah, the creature has 0 speed, disadvantage, attacks, yeah. It has disadvantage on rolls against you, you have advantage against it, and it has disadvantage on dexterity saves. Fuck my life.
So it's a 16 hit.
Yes, a 16 is a hit. Roll that damage. Okay.
9 force damage.
Thank you.
And that is my turn. I will stay where I am.
Fucking hell. Okay, let's see where we're at right now. It is the next creature's turn. The one that just got fucked up big time. Oh. It's gonna try to make a strength save. It's gonna spend his turn doing that. Fuck my life with the 7.
But that said, else.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you can go right ahead. That's the end of what I'm doing.
Oh, I was just gonna say it takes damage from the fire.
How much?
Let me roll damage.
Thank you. All right, takes 3 damage. You're really fucking up this thing. All right, Seer, it's your turn.
All right. Is there a nice rock somewhere?
There is a lot of rocks everywhere. In fact, like everything you see on the map is right next to you.
So, is there like a 2-pound rock?
Yes.
Cool. I launch it at the creature.
Okay. Target onto the creature, do catapult.
It is a saving throw.
Okay, thank you.
DC 18.
Okay, right to this creature. Yeah, fuck my life. And it rolled a 9. Alright.
15 bludgeoning.
Jesus! Spell makes it magical. Fucking hell.
And I also will ram the sphere as my bonus action into it.
Okay, roll damage. Or is it dexterity save again? I don't know.
It should be a dex save again.
Yep, thank you. I believe it's 18, so I'll make the same one for the catapult. Actual pass, thank God.
You are rolling with disadvantage, aren't you?
No, I didn't. Fuck my life.
There you go.
Yeah, the DM conveniently forgot about the disadvantage.
I think it'll take half of half.
Okay, it's gonna take a quarter of the damage. Roll it. Oh, fuck.
2 points.
Yeah, 2 points. It's something. Like, he is bloodied. You just see that, well, actually, no, he is singed. He is burnt to crisp. There is, all the wounds that he has are cauterized by this fire.
Cool. Can I use my... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, anything else on your turn?
I was going to say, is it possible for me to get around this little invisible thing?
Get around?
Yeah. I was hoping I could get to this side.
Make me, if you want to, make me an acrobatics and make it a 14. Just because it's not clear, you're just doing a careful jump over.
You're asking a lot for me with the 14.
Yeah, because like that entire area right there is just like a... Oh, okay, there we go. With the 20. Yep, right there.
Perfect. And I will end my turn there.
Okay. Move on to the next person. That'd be Edward Eddie Hayes. What's up, my dude?
Alrighty. So... Yeah, I think just to make things just like doubly confusing for this creature, and maybe just to be a little bit annoying.
Thank you. That's exactly what I want.
Gonna use his bonus action to Eddie port.
God damn it. Oh, fuck my life.
I mean, he gets his other friend back.
Yeah. Great.
It's just gonna be pinging back and forth trying to attack each Eddie.
And then Eddie himself is going to fire his Eddie blasts at it.
Target the creature. Hell.
Okay. First attack.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we already know that hits.
Yeah.
Then I might as well fire the second one now.
Yep.
There, see, only a 13.
13, yay! Yay! Fucking great. Make that damage roll.
Right. This is going to include 4 bludgeoning.
Alright. Okay, 15 damage.
And it gets to, like, be pushed back 10 feet.
Yes, sir. Okay. There is a wall. Directly east, right? Like straight east.
Yeah, a straight line to...
Yep. He will hit the wall. And just for shits and giggles, roll me a 1d6. Now I'm only gonna allow it for this one just because there's a little bit of distance. Okay. He takes 4 bludgeoning damage, resisted, which is 2, as we see like him leave an imprint onto the wall. Like, flavored this up for me because he just went through Shadow Eddy.
Yeah, it's just like 1 minute, like Eddie's just kind of there, and just then suddenly like the telltale sudden disappearance of normal Eddie, like being replaced with Smoky Eddie as the two trade places once again, and the smoke around like regular Eddie as he appears in the spot where Smoky Eddie used to be, just suddenly blasts out and knocks into the creature, and then Smoky Eddie kind of just opens up in the middle, just so that basically cartoonishly with a hole, so that the creature can just go straight right through it, and then opens back or closes back up.
Hell yes. All right. It is the gnome's turn. There is a big motherfucker right next to him.
I'll use my Halo Spores.
Okay.
So that's my reaction. DC 12 Constitution.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So
He somehow failed, and he was blessed. Which I should be rolling Constitution checks for. Hang on. How many times did he get hit? 1 time?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Thank you. Keep that in mind. I really need to put the concentrating condition on him. There we go. Constitution save. Or sorry, it should have been check. But the roll is high enough to pass. Alright. Okay, with that out of the way. Big ass tree monster.
3 damage.
3 necrotic damage. Making another save. Oh, really fucking high. That's a 26. Shitballs, monkey. Your immediate threat. You're right in front of him. We see electricity begin to form around him as he sends out a little bit of lightning your way. Make me a dexterity DC 16 saving throw. Make sure your token is clicked and press the little tab in the chat box.
Dr. Octocomopus, blah.
Yeah, there you go. It's one of my favorite old memes.
Dexterity saving.
Yeah, you can just press the little tab in the chat box.
Oh, cool.
Yep. Has it all right there. Yeah, just for everyone's reference, just try to reference the chat as much as possible. A lot of the things are there for you to press. 16. Fuck my life. Oh, god damn it. I'm fairly certain that's just half damage. Creature takes half as much. Yep. Fuck. Alright, lightning damage. You're taking it. Half of 26, 13. I believe that is it.
And it automatically applies it.
No, you have to take it off yourself. So if you right-click your token, you can press minus whatever the damage, so minus 13. This fucking tile. Come on, you son of a bitch. X. Yep, one turn. There we go. Fucking hell. Took me way too long to do. Alright, you minus off that damage?
Yes.
Alright. He is scared of you. And I think what he's gonna do, why the fuck is that huge
Oh,
tempo
that
thing?
wasn't supposed to happen. My apologies.
Yeah, that's fine. Right angle measurement tool, delete it. Alright. Alright. He is gonna try to fucking book it all the way to dodge. Okay. There we go. As he tries to move out of your reach, you can take that attack of opportunity if you want.
Already used my reaction.
Good. You guys keep using up your reaction, so that's 5 feet. Okay. $15. And 25, 30 going underneath another tree as he tries to get away from you. Okay. Next, and he's out of fucking initiative. All right, hang on. It would be Mavet is your turn. I'm gonna quickly put him back on initiative.
Okie dokie, I'm ready whenever you tell me.
Go right ahead as I'm doing this.
Okay, so that 30 feet will put me right next to him. Assuming that's not on top.
Yep, it'll put him right next to you.
Okay, and with that, I will bonus action rage.
Okay.
Features, where's rage? There we go.
Okay.
Oh, no cool little animation. Sad.
Not for you. All right. Anything else on your turn?
This has to be a Eddie answer or DM answer. Can a shove be like a pull, so I could throw him behind me versus pushing him forward?
I believe it's in a direction. I don't believe it follows your token.
Yeah, if you want to move a target behind you, that's more of a grapple, and then move them there yourself.
I was just trying to grab his arm and then throw him behind me off the cliff.
Jesus, okay. Did you already use your main action?
No, I haven't used my main action.
Look, if you want to, yeah, we can do like a Yeah, we can do a grapple check, and the caveat would be like you throwing him off the fucking cliffside. How's that sound?
I like that.
Okay. We're gonna rule cool this shit. Alright. So, let's make a contest here, please.
Athletics with advantage. Or, no. I always forget. It's dexterity with advantage. Right, Mega,
Well,
if I'm raging?
No, you're raging right now, so you do have advantage on your athletics checks.
Oh.
And he is going to make an acrobatics here. Fuck my life. Yep, there we go. That was a very piss poor roll, and so was yours. Jesus, an 8 and 5, and you still managed to succeed. All right, flavor this up for me, and I'll let him drop.
So, chasing the little gremlin as he is hiding from tree to tree, I figured he wanted to be away from his summons, so I wanted to bring him a little closer. So, as he's running away from me, I grab the back of his shirt and just tug as hard as I can. And as he gets pulled past me, I let go, and he falls off the cliff.
All right. Every 10 feet of falling is 1d6, if memory serves me right, so that'd be 3d6. All right. You want to do the honors? 13 damage. No resistance to the damage, so. Yep, he falls, has to make a constitution save or concentration check. 12 barely passed as he tumbles down, and you hear a sharp crack, but he's still alive. I assume that's the end of your turn?
Well, no, because I still got some movement. I got 10 feet of movement.
Okay. Do you jump off as well?
Yeah, I'm going to try to land on top of him.
Okay. I believe it is a... God, I need to look up the rules for landing another creature's space. But roll me that damage for yourself, 3d6.
And that's half.
Also, just
DC
keep in mind
15,
when you
yeah.
take, just keep in mind when you take damage from a fall, like you do fall prone.
Thank
That's
you.
fine, we'll both be prone.
Be snuggle buddies. Okay, I believe it's dexterity 15. I don't believe prone affects dexterity saves off the top of my head. Gotta make
It
sure
does not.
he actually... Yeah, gotta make sure he's actually prone. Let's see. Yep, prone. Alright, and let's make that dexterity save here. Are you fucking serious? Yes, I believe he takes half the damage, if memory serves me right. Yeah. It's gonna split. Let me make sure if it's actually split. Okay, DC 15, impactful. Any damage from the fall is divided evenly between them. Okay.
So if I have resistance to what would be bludgeoning, right?
You take half the damage from your fall, hang on, and half of that. So what was your roll for the damage? 4?
4.
4 fucking damage. Yeah, okay. So he takes half of that, 2. You take half of that, and half of that again, which is 1. Congratulations. But yeah, animate that section for me as well.
So as I have let go of him behind me, and I hear a sharp crack on the what appears to be a lot lower than where I am, I turn around and see him laid prone on the ground. As I take a leap and tuck my legs into my arms, I drop down on the little dude.
All right. That ends your turn.
Cannonball.
It is Gene's turn. He's going to help do a little bit of cleanup here. Make sure to make these rolls with advantage. Yeah, one of them's hit with the first Grave Bolt. 14 damage. Jesus. And going in for the last one. Nope. Didn't roll that with advantage. It's fine. Yeah. That's a failure on both of them. We see like the first shot basically like twist his neck, and we hear again another snapping of the neck, but this one more real. As Luya, you see, much like Stewie Griffin turning his head to the side, it's like at a nice like 40-degree angle, maybe 50, as ears pointed towards the ground, other ears pointing towards the sky, and it still looks like it's alive. Very creepy. It is the other creature's turn that's in front of Eddie. Fuck me. It's gonna attack the first thing in its path towards Eddie. Should I? Fuck. Yeah. First, he's gonna try to go around. So 5, 10, and attack of opportunity as he tries to go for the 15th.
All right. For those not in the know, I'm using Warcaster to do this. Zeka.
Yeah.
All right. We'll have number 1.
Okay. That is a miss.
Then the second one.
All right, second one's a hit. Do the damage. Oh God. Was bludgeoning included
Straight
in
up
there?
10.
Yeah.
No, that only happens on my turn.
Okay.
But yeah, it takes 10 force damage, and I guess that goes to say hello to Smokey Eddie again.
All right. We're gonna be wrapping up here. All right. Yes. Again, sorry, I missed that. Oh, you're pushing him back?
Yeah, I'm pushing him back.
You motherfucker.
Basically, like, yeah, like based on the, based on everything, like you basically, yeah, just winds up right back where you started.
Yep. Roll me that 1d6, and in Looney Tunes fashion. Yeah. Okay, if memory serves me right, 5'10". Didn't take the final movement when proccing the attack of opportunity. Gets pushed back. So he used up 10 movement so far. Jesus.
Yeah, he used 10 movement so far.
Yeah, God. Okay, let me calculate the rest of this. Gonna follow the path again until he gets to fucking Eddie. Moving the rest of his movement. He is really pissed off. There's literal smoke coming from his nose, and you're not sure if it's from his your attacks or like the sulfurs of hell and brimstone. He is going to lay down 2 claw attacks right on you.
Oh,
And nat one. Fucking hell. And natural 20. Goes around, comes around. Any bullshit.
No, I don't have a reaction anyway.
Okay. Will hit. 2d4. Let me make sure I actually did it correctly. It looks like it did. For a pitiful 14 damage. If you want to deduct that from your health, please. Oh.
Hey, be careful. You almost got the nipple ring.
God damn it. Yeah, we see like a slash, your clothes tear open a little bit. Looks a little sexy. And that ends his turn. Aluya, the creature right in front of you is practically dead. You want to finish this thing off? Got an advantage.
Sure.
Yeah.
John doesn't go first? Jean the mom?
Oh, I missed his turn. That's apologies. Thought I already did it. I must have been... No. He did. That's how he ended up so badly hurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she's just going to bring out her spear again, look at the creature, say, now you see it. It's going to go away. Now you don't. It's going to come out to, say for funsies, out from the ground going up.
Okay.
Target. Oh, I took it off. Target.
Mm-hmm. Make that attack. Yeah, 20 is a hit. Alright, that's 10 damage. Alright, force. Oh, how do you kill it?
So it comes out from the ground and it just shoots straight up at him. Now he just kind of looks like shish kebab.
Mm-hmm.
And when he falls over, he can't even like slump. He just kind of falls to the side. And then when he's down, I'll bring the spear back to me.
Okay. Alright, that's one down. Anything else on your turn? Do you move? Because there's a spear in your way.
Nah, I'll stay. I'll stay with my little spear buddy.
Seer, it's your turn.
Alright. Murder approaches for some creatures. This one's dead, so... Or not dead. I forget. Regardless, I'm catapulting the one by Eddie. Let me give it a target.
Yep, give it a target.
And then I'm going to shoot it with another catapult. DC 18.
No. $17 on the roll, 20. Alright.
Nice.
Save or suck or half damage?
It sucks.
Yeah, damn right it does. Anything else on your turn?
I slammed the creature by Aluya with a ball.
And that ends your turn then?
Let me see the damage.
That thing's dead. Is totally
I know, I'm
dead. Yep.
I'm just slamming it.
Yeah, okay. You
Making sure it doesn't come back. I don't know if it's covered in, the Zombruin.
Oh, funny you do mention that. Like, as you do cover it with fire, you do see from its insides, like, those thorny vines that you become so accustomed to begin to writhe and burn up and die. It seems like this could be one of the factors with this creature that you've been seeing.
That's why I thought to burn it.
Yeah, and you're burning it. Give yourself inspiration. Fuck you.
I'm glad that at no point did I actually make physical contact with this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was hoping you guys would just leave the corpses alone, but of course you guys can't leave a goddamn corpse alone.
Not
Eddie,
on my watch.
It is your fucking turn. What the hell do you do?
Well, this, this is becoming increasingly Looney Tunes.
Yeah. All right.
As now you see him. Now you don't.
I'm so glad I fucking made that. It looks so cool just seeing it. Just poofing and poofing.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you
It's
did
like, here,
that.
I'll show it off again. Just like
Yeah, I thought that was intentional.
I totally meant to do that.
Yeah, because you meant to, Freddy. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so great.
It's like I am the master.
Hmm.
Just
Yeah, so good.
oh, it's probably because I wasn't actually properly
Yeah.
selecting my token.
There you go.
But it's fine though. But-
Yeah, it still looked cool. All right. Anything else?
So just like once again, just like I just want to imagine this creature is just like finally got him. Wait, where's that smoke coming from again? And we're going to fire another Eddy blast.
All right. Yeah, you got the creature targeted. Do attack and damage.
All right, attack number 1.
Okay. As a hit.
And attack number 2.
Dos. Okay. There it is. That is also miraculously a fucking hit. What the hell?
All right, the first damage roll is going to include the bludgeoning.
Ugh. All right. 8 damage.
And then the second one.
Yeah, 6 damage. It is nearly dead.
Sounds as good a time as any for an action surge.
All right.
Just see if we can actually finish it off.
God fucking damn it. Yes, that's a hit. My boy. What are you doing to my poor boy?
Here, I'll go ahead and roll the damage just in case it's enough.
Oh, God. Oh, one more good, practically one more good hit, and he's dead. The average damage you're fucking doing.
Then I'll make that last attack roll.
As a
17
hit.
to hit.
As a hit. How do you kill it?
Yeah, so just like once again, just like as I said, like very Looney Tunes-esque, as like the two suddenly swap places again, and then like Smokey Eddie just like getting really tired of this shit, like summons all of the smoke around Eddie as like 4 smoke balls start to appear behind him, like Shiva style, and like suddenly blast, 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 knocking this creature what would be, by all accounts, 40 feet in a direction until it runs into a tree and completely turns to ash.
God damn. And anything else on your turn?
It just kind of like looks back over in the direction of the gnome,
Sorry about your pets.
All right. It is the gnome's turn. On the ground, back against like the boulder. His hands are up and just goes,
I surrender. White flag. White flag. I parlay.
and hands are up. We see the tree before him. We see all the combatants. We see the dead demons, and we see the writhing vines of, or I should say, the ash of the demon that Eddie killed. And I think I kind of want to end it there. All right. Thank you so much.
Murder.
This has been House Common Blood, the intro and outro music by Savick Oh My Dog. Any music and sound effects used in the episode are royalty free. Credits can be found in the episode description. Please review us on whatever podcast listening app you happen to be vibing on. And if you like us, tell other people. Word of mouth is the best way for us to grow. Thank you for joining us. Man, that was a real trip.